Good afternoon. My name is Amanda and welcome to the Dunn Creative. Before we get into this pick a card reading, I just wanted to let you guys know I have a live stream channel and a writing/vlog channel. Both of those are found in the description below, and if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, you can email me at amanda@dunnphotodesign.com. Link for that can also be found in the description. But for this pick a card reading, we're going to be figuring out what you can expect for the month of July 2022. And this is an in-depth prediction. So if you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to center your energy, and focus in on pile number 1 with the hot pink flower, pile number 2 with the mint green flower, and pile number 3 with the white flower. If more than one pile calls out to you, there may be messages in each pile for you. But once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamps, and I also pin them as the top comment. Please remember, you guys, these are general readings, so only take the information that resonates with you, your life, your situation, and just go ahead and leave the rest behind. Now, without delaying this any further, I'm going to give you a moment to meditate on your cards, and I will see you over at your reading. Alright, group number 1, or those of you who selected the hot pink flower, this is going to be your message for July 2022. You guys have here the Mountain card. This is a card all about challenges, adversity, but also endurance. And this is going to be kind of the underlying theme going on for you in the month of July. There might be some challenges here, there might be some adversity, but at the same time, you will have that power, that motivation, that drive, that endurance to get yourself through it. And it's really gonna be something that you're really proud to accomplish by the end of the month. Let's go ahead and get some tarot in the mix here. We're gonna lay them out just like I do my monthly readings, by past, present, future, all of those. We'll just call it out as we go. So what is the present energy coming in? We have the King of Pentacles. So for the month of July itself, present moment, too many. Here it is. We have the King of Wands. Ooh, 2 kings already. Look at this. You guys really are taking something to the streets here. For future conditions, we have Justice card. And we'll kind of fix these as we go, but we'll just get them dealt out first. For your best path to follow this month of July, for group 1, we have here the 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. You're not letting anything hold you back this month. Okay, your wish fulfillment, wish coming true this month. Knight of Pentacles. Well, I was saying this was the Knight of Pentacles. Now I can see why. All right, let's get an outcome card for group number 1, please, Spirit. July 2022, 4 of Swords. Okay, this makes so much sense to me. So we're gonna go ahead and break these down. Let me just adjust them a little bit here. All right, so we're gonna start here with the past position. So this is gonna be the month of June, May, maybe even as far back as April 2022 energy you're bringing in. This King of Pentacles is someone who's at the top of their career or just really establishing something. So you guys have maybe worked these past few months to really set down a stable foundation for yourselves. Some of you, I'm actually seeing kind of a tower moment for some of you where something that you thought was stable wasn't at all and it crumbled beneath you. Could have been a relationship, could have been a job situation, or just really anything that resonates for you. Those of you who've just been kind of slow and steady, because I did call that the Knight of Pentacles, kind of a slow and steady energy, something you've been building for at least the past few months. Some of you may even be able to take this residual energy from the past, even back further, a year, 2 years, 3 years, something you've been working on and off, a side hustle, a project, something that you have put a lot of effort and a lot of time and effort and attention into. We do have a lot of pentacles on the board here, and this is about really solidifying something for yourself in the material world. But with this King of Wands, this is you bringing in divinely inspired ideas, inspiration from spirit, your guides, your higher self, to really make that like motivation in your life go even more. And I love seeing this King of Wands in your month of July proper, as in the current energy, coming in with the mountain, because this is letting us know you will have the power to overcome the challenges, overcome the obstacles, the adversity going on, and have that endurance and motivation to keep yourselves going and going and going. And I think it's very interesting here on the King of Wands. We've got this, let me see if I can focus on it here. We've got this guy here. It looks like Saturn is on fire. I mean, they're all on fire here. But Saturn, I'm seeing this kind of ring around Saturn. We've also got a ring around this mountain. So to me, Saturn does represent our elders. It represents karma, structure, repetitive work or repetitive energy. But what I'm really reading about this is you are paying off some really big, major past life karma, or even karma in the past in this incarnation. You are done with it this month. You are paying it off and then finally reaping the benefit or the reward from all the hard work you've put in with the past karma. So go you group one. And then for your future conditions, this is the end of July going into August, September, maybe even as far out as October, quite possibly. But we have the Justice card here. We have the feather here, which is really reminding me of spirit communication, maybe even writing, like the quill kind of vibe, like an Ace of Swords kind of energy. But we also have a heart here. So this is like speaking, communicating, getting downloads from spirit, but you're really tuning into your heart. You're communicating from the heart. You are responding from the heart. I mean, this just feels like you're cleaning things up as well. We've got a lot of cigarette butts, an empty can. It looks like a condom wrapper. I'm not 100% sure what that is. We've got some peeling or kind of paint stuff going on here in the background. We have the name Jeremy on this hat here, and I know that's in reference to a 90s song. But you may be dealing with someone named Jeremy. You yourself may be named Jeremy. It might be relevant to you, or even looking up the word or the name Jeremy in gematria can give you some additional messages. That's just coming through. So you're cleaning up your circumstances, you're cleaning up your energy, you're cleaning up your physical environment, some of you, by the end of this month, and kind of taking you into the end of summer and going into the fall. So for your best path to follow, this is the Ten of Pentacles. Again, pairing that up with the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. This is about you solidifying, stabilizing something for a legacy that you are creating, a long-term goal, a long-term venture, something maybe you are, to me this feels like building a career or building a home, building a family, building something that when you are dead and gone, you can, not you maybe, but the world can point to and be like, that person created this, and that person in this instance is you, you group one. So you really are putting down some roots somewhere. Even if you're traveling around, it's like you're putting down roots in your physical vessel. You're spending more time out of your head, but back into your body instead. Because I think you guys really do tend to be in your head or thinking about the future or worrying about the past a lot, which, we all do that. But this month of July, you guys are getting present. You're getting grounded in your physical reality. Some of you may even be going on a trip to the mountains or going on a hike, getting out in nature, connecting to nature, grounding yourselves. Cloud watching, there's a lot of clouds here, there's a swirl of energy, there's a lot of wind kind of coming in, and wind to me is that air energy, that's that swords energy. Ace of Swords, again with the feather, now my right ear is ringing, but lots of spiritual communication coming in, downloads, even if you aren't really aware or cognizant of the fact that they are quote unquote spiritual downloads, they are coming in for you as, you may interpret them as your own thinking or your own thought process, but it's actually spirit checking in and giving you little Easter eggs that you can then go on a hunt for and create something really beautiful. So for your wish coming true, the Knight of Pentacles, so those of you that have been go, 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 work, 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 do, speed through, rush, get everything done, there's so much to do, you will be able to, even with all of this going on, slow things down and find a little bit more balance in your life, because you're realizing that these goals, these dreams, wishes, desires, things you want to accomplish in life are not just going to be realized overnight. They're not going to be manifesting for you overnight, and you know that, and that's okay for you. I think for a lot of you before, it's like, well, I worked so hard and my manifestations just aren't coming in, but I think you guys are seeing some of those past manifestations come in with that Saturn energy, that clearing of karma coming in, that it's really giving you this confidence moving forward into the future that, yeah, the work I'm putting in today will pay off eventually, even if it's not tomorrow or the next day or the next month or even the next year. I know eventually this is going to pay off. And that just sense of faith in your own self, your own abilities, your own skills, talents, and just stick-to-itiveness, if that's a word, is really going to lend beautiful support for you moving forward with your best path to follow. Here is the 10 of Pentacles. So for your outcome, we have the 4 of Swords, which I know this isn't always the best card to get, but I'm really seeing this, like, this guy doesn't look ragged. He just looks like, yeah, I've worked hard today. I'm going to take a break now. So this is, again, kind of going back to that balance with the Justice we were kind of talking about earlier, with balancing out and the Knight of Pentacles. Just finding that balance between being busy all the time and being able to have some fun, taking a break. Finding the balance is going to be the key here, but the outcome is you will have downtime. You will have time, even if you feel like I have 4,000 things to accomplish and do, and I'm excited about them, but at the same time, I'm like, is there going to be enough time to do everything I want to do? By pacing yourself and maybe even writing things down. I think you need to write things down so you don't forget or let different tasks or things you need to do, priorities, fall through the cracks. But you're going to have time to literally make some shadow puppets, like, just have some fun for the sake of having fun without having to produce anything or be anywhere or be like on for somebody. You're just going to be able to relax and spend some time, maybe alone. Some of you might even be taking a vacation alone, because there's 2 depictions. One at some sort of maybe monument, like Washington Monument. It kind of looks like this, the obelisk behind him in the back there. Then we have kind of like a Devil's Tower looking moment, or maybe like Sedona looking moment here in the desert. But he's alone in both depictions here. So maybe, just maybe, you guys are, sorry if you can hear my dog. My husband's working from home. It's summertime. Kids are home. I literally had to take any chance I got to film, so my apologies if you can hear him. I just want to keep trucking though, because if I take too much time, I'm not going to give you guys the energy that you deserve. So let's continue into some oracle cards. We're going to draw one of these cards for you, month of July 2022. Have here, change the scenery, and oh my goodness, what were we just talking about these different locations here? One looks like Washington DC, one looks like the desert. 2 very different places, but if this isn't you leaving your actual local area, this could just look like, instead of working from home, if those of you that work from home, instead of just sitting there working from home, you could go to a coffee shop. Or those of you that normally go to lunch at one place, maybe you're bringing lunch instead, or going to a different place. Or if you're taking one route home, instead you're going to take another route home. You're just changing things up, even if they are small little shifts, because this will help inspire you and bring in more divine inspiration that you can then take action on or add to your wonderful arsenal of accomplishments, goals, wishes, desires, dreams, and actually be able to manifest these things. All right, let's go ahead and get some additional guidance. We also have the number 12 here that might be relevant. Adds up to the number 3, which is a very creative number, collaborative effort, working together. And we also have dare to be creative. And it's very interesting to me how both of these cards are very similar. This person, there's a paint easel thing, no, a painter's little thing, palette, that's the word I'm looking for. And a paintbrush. We've got a paint palette and a paintbrush here, as well as all these beautiful different colors in the background. And this to me feels like you working to your own creative endeavors. And for some of you, that is the canvas of your life. Maybe you're not in a creative field as far as your work or whatever, but you are just making your life kind of your own creation. And I actually want to read the back of it. It says, today's lesson: think about all the creative ideas that come to you in one day. And remember that divine inspiration, creative inspiration you've got going on. How many do you dismiss as trivial or unproductive? Remember, you need some downtime to just be creative and have fun. Healing requires impractical and daring creativity. And again, the 4 of Swords is a card about healing. It comes after the 3 of Swords, which is about, heartbreak and devastation, grief, loss. But this is the healing that comes after, and then thus also the 6 of Swords, which comes after the 5 of Swords. But it says here, your goal is to observe how you respond to your own creative voice. Are you receptive or self-critical? So yeah, this is about not dismissing those ideas like, oh, who am I to create that? Or people are going to think that's stupid. No, you're re-examining things from a more, I guess, less self-critical lens. Let's put it that way. All right, let's see. One more message. Actually, I'm going to get 2 of these to kind of fill in these gaps. Anything else Group 1 needs to know for the month of July 2022, please, Spirit? Okay, there's 1 and there's 2. I'm going to excited to see what these are. You guys have had such an amazing reading so far. Miracle! And look, this is very similar. I know the colors are different, but it's like there's, like, I don't even know. Is this like a block of wood and there's like fire or mist or something rising from it? It's beautiful, but this is solar plexus. This is about knowing you have the skills, the ability to manifest the life that you want to be living. And then there's that faith. That there was the word. I said the word faith earlier. If you do not remember, go back and watch it again. Yes, having faith in yourself to solidify the foundation of your dreams. This is what you're doing with this Dare to Be Creative and change of scenery, is giving yourself creative control over your own life by having faith that what it is you are putting your effort, a time, and attention into is going to manifest beautiful miracles and abundance in your life in many different ways. Abundance doesn't always just have to look like, cash money. It can look like really deep and connected relationships. It can look like resources. It can look like people stepping in to help you with things, mentor you in certain areas. And of course, it can also look like cash money as well. But have faith that those miracles are coming. This is such an amazing reading for you, Group 1. I am just absolutely floored and happy that you guys got such a beautiful reading for the month ahead. I think, and I'm hearing you guys almost in your minds right now, like, I deserve it. Like, after what I've been through, I deserve it. Yes, you do, Group 1. You do deserve it. So please let me know below what you thought. Any stories you want to share. I always love to hear from you, wonderful Group number 1. And as always, thanks again so much for all those likes on the video, those comments. That engagement really helps. Your sharing the video helps as well. And you subscribing also helps me so much. So thank you for that. And as always, I hope to see you right here back at the Dunn Creative. All right, bye. Alright, Group number 2, let's go ahead and find out what you can expect for the month of July 2022. And just a reminder, this is an in-depth prediction, so these might go on for about 20 minutes or so. So get yourself a beverage or something, a snack, to help tide you over as we go about our reading here. So we have here the card you use to select your pile. This is the 5 of ink card with the word solvent. This is about mistakes, forgiveness, and mercy. So I'm really seeing the fact that they say if you want to succeed, you do have to make a lot of mistakes. And people who make mistakes or aren't afraid to make mistakes are usually the ones who succeed. Even if you yourself feel that a lot of the mistakes you've made haven't really brought you any closer to what you want to see in your life, just know, be rest assured that everything you've been through and what you've experienced, even the mistakes you've made, the things you're just like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? I can't believe I messed up so bad. They have taught you something. Our mistakes a lot of times are some of the biggest ways for us to catapult forward, because once we know better, we can then what? For those in the back? Once we know better, we can do better. So a theme is to forgive yourself first and foremost for a lot of the mistakes that you've made in the past. And also people in your life, of course, use your discernment. If there are certain people that you just don't want to forgive, that is your prerogative. But it's like when we hold this resentment or unforgiveness in our heart for other people, it's like we drink the poison and expect them to die. Doesn't work like that. So even if you don't want to allow these people in your life anymore and you're still mad at what they did, forgiveness is something you do for yourself, not for the other person. So just keep that in mind this month. And we also have mercy here. So this is about giving yourself grace, giving yourself some mercy, and those around you as well. Again, using your discernment. If this looks like you giving people mercy and yourself mercy by cutting them off, cutting them loose from your energy so that you can live a better life. I'm really seeing some of you have been dealing with a lot of toxic people, gossips, people that just don't have your best interests at heart, or maybe they're jealous of you, envious in some way, that they are creating some drama in your life. But let's get some additional guidance from our tarot. We're just going to break it down as we always do for the monthly readings, with the past, the present, the future, and then all the other things. We'll just go through it as we go. But let's get into this for Group 2 for the month of July 2022. What do they need to know? There's the past energy. There's the Page of Wands. So we're going to kind of fix these as we go, but let's see for the month of July. Queen of Wands. Wow, this is amazing. You guys really are owning your authority and your power this month, which I love to see. You're standing up for yourselves. And then the Six of Pentacles for your future conditions. I love it. All right. What's the best path to follow for Group number 2? Here it is. Ooh, the King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. This came out in Group 1 as well. as their past position. Wish fulfillment, wish coming true this month for group 2. It won't come out. There we go. Ooh, the 7 of Cups. I love to see it in the wish fulfillment position. And let's see the outcome for group 2 for the month of July 2022. Okay, I want to get a clarifier on this just to see what's going on. I really do feel this has something to do with what you're cutting loose. It's a bittersweet. It's not completely bitter. There's some sweetness to it, but let's see. Yeah, you're definitely putting something in, or someone in the past. We'll really get into this when the time comes, but for now, we'll just kind of do one of these numbers. Kind of get it situated here, and let me fix this. We'll be right back. All right, so let's start in the past position. You have that Page of Wands, and it says here, just like you. And this is a song title, but to me, it's like some of you may have been in the past trying to go about life or create things in a way that was like someone else because you didn't give yourself enough credit for knowing your own aesthetic, knowing your own style, feeling creative enough that it's almost like you felt like you had to kind of copy someone else's style. Or for those that doesn't resonate with that, there may have been other people copying your style, ripping off your work, ripping off your aesthetic, and you are just, or have been, sick of it and you're done. But this is letting us know as well that you are being inspired to start something that is just like you. Not you that you used to be, but you that is your authentic self. You are tuning back in, maybe some of you, to someone or a version of yourself you used to be that you felt self-conscious of, or you felt embarrassed about, or you just didn't have time for it, so you talked yourself out of it, but you're getting back to it. And for others of you, this is something completely different. This is kind of past energy though, so this is for June, May, maybe even as far back as April, but it's still kind of in your beginning of July. So especially those of you watching in June, because I like to post this about a half a month before we go into the next month, so about 2 weeks prior. If you're watching this and it's in June, you may still be experiencing this right now, where you're getting inspired to become a greater version of yourself. And this doesn't mean that the version that you are now isn't good enough, quote unquote. It just means you know you can do better, so you're gonna give more effort to your appearance or your spiritual practices or your creativity or being able to ground those grand ideas into reality, into the physical world. This is powerful, you guys, for this position, because it's like the sky's the limit. You are at a precipice because you're closing something out and ready to start something new for many of you. And for some of you, again, it could be a relationship. You are just done dealing. It could be a friend, a significant other, or maybe a family member that it's like they expect you to be this version of yourself that maybe you used to be, or maybe you never were, but it just doesn't fit anymore. The shoe doesn't fit. So why try to stuff your foot into it? It's like the little old lady that goes to the shoe store. I'm a size 6. And the store worker is trying to shoehorn her foot into the shoe. It's just not working. She's like, actually, I think you're closer to an 8. And the little old lady just denies it. Because she knows, no, I'm a 6. Well, your feet must have grown in some capacity because they aren't fitting in a size 6. And that's same with you. You have grown to be a greater version of yourself. And some of you may be trying to shoehorn yourself into past versions of you that no longer fit. And others of you may be wanting to get back to an old version of you before someone else got involved and told you that wasn't good enough, if that makes sense. I'm seeing both ends of that spectrum going on here. But with the month at hand, July 2022, we have the Queen of Wands energy. You are motivated, you are passionate, you are inspired. I got major chills on my crown right now and my left ear is really itchy. So you're getting a lot of contact communication from spirit, from your guides, from your own higher self. And it's very interesting here. She's looking in the mirror. Like this is what she's seeing. And I'm seeing like a strap around her arm. It's like, what you would do. I'm not like into drugs at all, ever. Never have been, never will be in this incarnation anyway. But it's like there's a past version of her. She looks very unhealthy. She's got the strap around her arm ready to, do some drugs or whatever. The cat even looks very feral here. But the actual reality of it is she's wearing a crown. She's a queen. And it says here, nearly lost you. And again, I'm reading this as yourself. You nearly lost that authentic version of yourself because you were trying to fit into other people's version of you that you were trying to live up to their expectations rather than your own. You're done with that. And others of you that the whole, addiction thing really does resonate. Maybe you did nearly lose yourself in the process of that, but you're back. You're back, baby, whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't have to be as extreme as, into drugs or, any really heavy addiction. It could just be, maybe you gained a few pounds because you were eating a lot of processed food, or the styles of clothing that you have just don't fit anymore, or just some of the hobbies or interests or people that you used to associate with just don't resonate anymore, and you're not gonna, again, try to shoehorn your way back into those old versions. You're ready to shed what is no longer serving you, because we're gonna get into that outcome very soon. But again, even though it's not really serving you now, it was comfortable sometimes for a time. And when we have to, lay a version of ourselves to rest, there is a grief period. And I'm really reading that Three of Swords as our outcome, as you grieving losses of versions of yourself that you used to wish would exist, but now will never exist because it's just not who you really are. Maybe even relationships that just aren't, the person proved themselves not to be who you thought they were, or they didn't live up to the potential you knew they could. Something along these lines. But for the future conditions, we have the Six of Pentacles. So this is the end of July, going into August, September, maybe even as far out as October. There's some balance coming in. You've got some divine intervention or outside help coming in. But again, this to me feels like you tuning and checking in with yourself, your guides, your higher self first and above anyone outside of you, to get the real tea on what's going on and what needs to happen. And then you can really start to embody that higher version of yourself. Again, it's all about not judging yourself for that old version that you still may see when you look in the mirror. That version of you no longer exists in this now moment. So you can, forgive that mistake from the past, whatever that looks like for you. Again, it doesn't have to be that extreme example of addiction or anything like that. But if that does resonate, you don't have to show up as that version of yourself anymore. Even those of you who are currently struggling with an addiction, you can choose at any moment, and I know it's very hard, to show up as a different version of yourself, a more authentic and true version to your soul and who you really are on the inside. It's beautiful and it's powerful if you can do that, which I think you're doing that this month. Your best path to follow is to ground that version of yourself that you know is there, that really successful version, that happy version, living their best life. And it's like, well, what does that even mean? I'm not going to define it, because living our best life is different for each of us. Being successful, that measure or that mark of success is different for each of you. So you're going to have to maybe pause the video if you really want to, do some journaling, some introspection on what does my best life look like? What does my level of success look like? Have I achieved some things that I didn't even give myself credit for yet? And then pat yourself on the back if you have. And those of you who haven't, pat yourself on the back that you're still working at it. You're still going. You're still moving forward. Because that is half the battle, is just to continue to show up day after day after day. Especially to those of you who feel like nothing is changing, nothing is working. You're not where you want to be. But if you give up completely, you're never going to be where you want to be. So this is all about continuing to show up for yourself every day, and to show up for those in your life that depend on you. If you're a parent or, someone, wow, major chills on my crown again. So I'm just hearing the song Jesus Take the Wheel too. So it's like, wow, major chills. Let me just let these move through me. What is this? What is happening? Wow. Some of you lost someone who was very, very near and dear to your heart. Someone maybe you were intimate with, or shared a very intimate connection. It doesn't have to be physically intimate. It could be emotionally intimate or mentally intimate. Someone you maybe shared your deepest, darkest secrets, or they shared their deepest, darkest secrets. It doesn't have to be a romantic connection, although for some of you it could have been. On one or the other's part, there was a romantic attraction. And this person either left your life through, life circumstances, or they passed away. I'm actually getting someone who did pass on. This is a male friend, someone that maybe even that was a lover in the past, or there were romantic feelings on one or the other side. And the one that is on the other side did have some romantic feelings for you. Whether you reciprocated those or not, they're letting you know now, if you didn't already, they may have had some romantic feelings for you. For some of you, this is like a male friend or someone you knew, and the loss of them, the passing away of them really devastated you in some way. But they're just saying, I'm still here. They may even check in with you as a crow or a raven. It's hard to really tell which is which on this card here, because size-wise, usually you can tell if there's other birds around. Is it a crow? Is it a raven? I just almost said craven. So maybe there's a Wes Craven movie, which I think the Nightmare on Elm Street movies were Wes Craven's work. I don't know, maybe you guys watched horror movies together or listened to kind of like metal music or, heavier music. Music's coming through as a really strong thing for this person who passed away. But those of you who don't resonate with someone passing away, again, this could be a past version of yourself, because this message is coming through very strong. So for those that really resonate with, yeah, my friend passed away, could have even been drug related, or I'm seeing another one actually died from some sort of accident, and then also someone who died from an illness. Wow. Yeah, it's all over the board. There's multiple people coming through to get messages to you guys, and I almost am just like, well, slow down, let's get your names, let's get your information so we get these messages out. But if this resonates, you can claim these messages for sure. But this person stepping forward from the other side, that those of you that resonates with, this person is with you. They are guiding you. They love you. They are still connected to you, and you can talk to them. You can journal and write letters to them. They can see it. They will get the words. They will get the message. And they send you messages through nature, through music, through maybe even something where you go to work. Or places you hang out. They send you a lot of messages. Then here we have, for your wish fulfillment, we have the 7 of Cups. So your wish fulfillment, your wish coming true is you will have more options than you even know what to do with. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. But those of you who are just like, I just need to find one way out of this situation, or one way to level myself up, or one way to feel inspired enough to move out of this old version, this old job, this old relationship, this old situation, whatever it is, to level myself up, to feel like I'm doing it, whatever it is for you. You are doing that. This is a message of hope. You are finding that long lost hope that some of you just didn't think existed anymore. It's coming back online for you. And this is such a powerful card to have in this position, is you realize you are stronger than your mistakes. You are stronger than your addictions. You're stronger than your bad habits. You're stronger than, those words you said to someone that were, you wished you could take them back. You're stronger than all of that. So with the outcome, let's kind of just look into this again. We've got the Devil. So again, this is feeling like you are chained to that past version or those past mistakes, that they are you. Well, let's just put that to rest. They are not you. That is dead and gone. The fact that you still feel it exists for you, or it is you, is an illusion. And this is you doing some introspecting, maybe journaling, meditation, to cut cords from past and toxic versions of yourself. Because all of us have acted toxic in many ways to ourselves and to others. But just because we were that version once doesn't mean that's who we still are. And again, this is about redefining, who am I? Like, if there was a theme for your group, it is redefining, who am I this month? You are really taking it to the streets as far as actually taking action in a new direction, because you're closing out those old cycles of pain, of grief, of childhood wounds, trauma, abuse, neglect. I'm seeing like major shadow stuff, major inner child stuff. You're putting a lot of this stuff to rest, but a lot of it resides in both your heart and your mind, is really what I'm seeing with this. And you can clear this. There's a lot of meditations you can look up on clearing, especially by the Loon Innate. I love her channel so much. I'll just put her name over here. The Loon Innate YouTube. You can look up mental clearing, things like this, heart clearing, heart chakra. I mean, just basically just go skim her playlists or her videos, and you will find many different videos you would just really enjoy to help clear and, purify your energy. Because you're cleaning house on a lot of these past heartbreaks, wounds, traumas from the past. That overburdened feeling from carrying all of this, you are washing this away. I actually want to get one more clarifier on you doing the work, you really stepping into this authentic version of yourself. What is that bringing for group 3 if they can do this? Do all this work. put this effort in. Yes, awakening, literally raising from the dead of who you once were. No longer holding yourself, judgment for the mistakes of the past. And showing up, maybe even in relationships where you were toxic or the other person is toxic, and you're seeing things in a new light. And those of you who don't want to go back to those relationships where the other person was toxic to you, you don't have to. You can do all of this in meditation or just by closing out these cycles through some sort of ritual or, just saying, declaring it out loud. They're showing me now like Michael Scott in The Office when he's like, wow, my finances are a mess. And then he's talking to the accountant Oscar in the show. And then he comes out and he's like, I declare bankruptcy. And most of the office is kind of like, that's not how that works. But really, in your instance, this is how that works, because you saying it makes it true, makes it real for you. And I got major crown tingles again. So again, judgment is a card about spiritual connection or really connecting and communing with your guides and your higher self. And I'm hearing too, your guides are you are your guides. Your guides really do feel like your own energy because they are fractals of you, versions of you. Wow, that was powerful. All right, what else do we have coming in hot this month for group 2? What's going on July 2022? Just laugh. Okay, so going back to that message about the inner child and the trauma from the past. And it's very interesting. We've got a clown here, which can be scary for one. And then the fact that it's coming out of the Jack in the Box, that also can be scary, like jump scare kind of energy here. So maybe some of you are clearing out like traumas from when you were scared as a child about certain things. Could have been having to do with clowns, I'm not sure. Or just things that happened in your childhood that scared you that maybe still kind of give you the heebie-jeebies in a way. And it's funny because we were kind of talking about horror movies earlier as well. So I don't know if maybe some of you watched a horror movie just a little too young and it always stuck with you and scared you. But you might actually be moving out of that energy or closing that cycle out or leaving that in the past to where now if you see something similar, it just doesn't affect you anymore because you've moved through it. But just laugh. Give yourself time. Give yourself that mercy and grace to just be a human being, not a human doing all the time. Especially when you are going through this thick of healing from the past. A lot of times we can get stuck in that dark night of the soul, not purposely, but we just think, well, this is my life now, just healing. But sometimes we can put that healing on pause and just enjoy our lives. And I think sometimes you guys forget you can just put that all on pause and enjoy yourself. But of course, if it's right near the surface, getting it out is good. It really is good. And then pay attention to your body. And I think we really were tuning into that with being present and really bringing all of this, being in your head and getting into your body, getting into your heart. So pay attention to your body. Today's lesson, it says here on the back, on this day, think about one thing that your body requires that it didn't need yesterday. Listen, observe, and pay attention to the physical, emotional, mental, and psychological, not physiological, but maybe physiological too, which is pretty much physical, really, psychological stresses in your body, and respond to one of them fully and consciously. Your goal, to pay attention to your body in every way. And like I was saying, kind of removing or releasing kind of traumas from the past that are still stuck in your body, maybe from childhood or a trauma that happened to you in the past. For some of you, this is showing up actually as like a sexual trauma or something that happened. Maybe you lost your virginity too young, or you just, again, maybe going back to the movie example, you saw a rated R movie with a sex scene and you're like, what is this? I'm only 7. Something like this. And it's very interesting too. I almost brought this one handful of crystals up here and I didn't. I'm kind of kicking myself I didn't now. This bathing suit here reminds me of rutilated quartz. I have a piece of it down on my tile. I just cleansed it. I was going to bring it up and put it on my table, and then I had so much I was bringing up. I'm like, oh, well, I'll go get it, and then I forgot. But these remind me of the little rutiles, whatever they're called, the little golden angel hairs that are running through that quartz. So this is like, I don't know, rutilated quartz might be something that you can really benefit from this month. If you don't have rutilated quartz, just clear quartz, it's fine as well. Just tuning in, maybe even looking up a picture of rutilated quartz and tuning into the energy, because you don't have to have the physical crystal in your hand to benefit from it. And I know not a lot of people talk about that, but like the effect of Moldavite. You don't actually have to own Moldavite to tune into the energy of Moldavite to help transform and shift your life. You can just look up pictures of it online, or, you know, put it as your lock screen on your phone, or print them out and put it on some sort of vision board. And it's almost as good as having the real thing. I know those, my Tauruses out there, here's a little piece. It was, let's just put that out there, was an angel chime, which the angel chime ones are the ones when you lightly tap them on the table or something, they kind of make a tinkling sound, like a ding, ding, ding. But literally 5 minutes into owning this angel chime, it broke right in half at 5:55 p.m. 555, big changes. And boy, let me just put it out there that after this broke, my life kind of went off the rails. So maybe you have felt that way, and that's the reason I thought to bring this up. Yeah, but if you felt like your life went off the rails, there was a reason for it. It's to put you on a better track. The rails you were on were not the right track. Not to say we're ever on the wrong path. I do not believe we're ever on the wrong path, but sometimes we feel stuck or in a rut in some way, and it's okay to jump the track, to get on a different timeline, or to quantum jump to something that is more beneficial for you. You absolutely can do that, and you will be doing that this month, group number 2. All right, we've gone long, so let's make this last couple cards quick. But I think you guys just need a little extra TLC this month because you deserve it. All right, that's 2. We'll take them. All right, what do we got? I'm so excited to see. Any guesses? All right, we have release and bittersweet. What was I saying about the 3 of Cups, or sorry, 3 of Swords being bittersweet? I was saying it was bittersweet. Mostly may feel bitter, but you're finding the sweetness in all the bitter this month. So, wow, I love, you know, you might have to go back because it's been a long reading to remember when I said that earlier during our outcome part. But then release, that's exactly what's going on with that 10 of Wands, that overburdened energy. You're releasing that, releasing from the old cycle, literally jumping the track like we just talked about. These cards are just pretty much reiterating what we already were talking about. Putting those old versions of yourself to rest. Grieving the loss of them if that is sad to you because, you know, bittersweet. Maybe that, you know, that version that you used to be, even if you consider a toxic version of yourself now, that's what you had to be in the moment to get you to who you are now and where you are now. That's powerful, you guys. I don't think you realize how powerful this is. We also have some doves here. So it's like the duality, that's the word, of the white and the black with the crows and the doves. So looking up crows and doves, or ravens and doves, I'm not sure, crows, ravens, whichever one, does crow or raven resonate with you more? Look up whichever one of those resonates more. And then of course the white dove, look that up. Homework for you guys. Thank you so much for sharing your lovely energy with me, and I'm wishing you the very best of luck in overcoming and conquering these old fractals of yourself that just don't resonate anymore, and reintegrating them or embodying them into something that is going to feel better moving forward, because you are really reaching new heights in your consciousness too. Once you know better, you do better. And I think I even said that in group 1, or if I didn't, it was in your group. But once we do know better, we can release the mistakes of the past and then do better moving forward. It's not always easy though. And for some of you, I'm actually seeing there might have been a monumental birthday or celebration that felt very bittersweet to you recently as well. All right, that's all I'm seeing for you, group 2. Please feel free to let me know below what you thought. If this reading resonated, any stories you want to share, I always love and adore to hear from you guys. And of course, the engagement on my channel is pretty much 0 right now. Again, I don't know what I'm doing over here on YouTube, what's going on with the engagement, but hopefully this will reach the people it's meant to. And as always, you guys, thanks so much for all those likes. They help. Those comments, that engagement helps, like I just said. The sharing of the video helps, and when you subscribe, that also helps. Thank you so much, and I really truly do hope to see you, group number 2, right here back at the Dunn Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 3, let's go ahead and find out what you can expect for the month of July. And wow, these already the chills are coming in on the crown. These readings have been some of the most powerful monthly readings I think I've ever done on this channel for monthly specific readings. I've done some really powerful readings on other topics, but just like, oh, month in general. Let's just say wow. And I have a feeling, because we didn't even read a card yet, or talk anything about your reading, and I already have chills on my crown. So it's about buckle up, group 3. It's about to get real. So those of you who selected the white flower or this card here, we have the 6 of paper with glue. And it says here, mending, healing, and reconciliation. So those of you who maybe had a falling out with a friend or a family member or a love interest, you might be healing this connection. Healing can look 2 completely different ways though. Healing can look like you healing from it and coming back together, or healing can also look like healing from the loss of someone or something and then going on your merry way in a different direction. Whatever resonates most for you, but you are mending something from the past that has maybe been holding you back in some capacity. But this is a very 6 of Swords because you are moving forward, whether it's with these same people, situations, whatever it was that didn't really work out the first time, or if it's in a completely new direction. That's for you to decide, because this is a general reading. I'm not gonna just box it down into one thing because I'm seeing both scenarios equally here and anything in between those scenarios. So take what resonates for you, but let's get some tarot in the mix, and we're just gonna lay this out like we always do with the past, the present, the future, and all the other positions that we will talk about as we shuffle. Here we go. So the past energies coming into the month of July. So this is June, May, maybe even as far back as April 2022 for group 3. And yep, there it is. Whoa, okay, I'm gonna stop. Yeah. Heartbreaking energy. Some of you may actually be coming from group number 2. This was their outcome card, but we got some really good information to clarify this outcome, which made it beautiful. But if you were trying to decide between groups 2 and 3, I would say specifically, especially for you group 3, to check group 2 out. I didn't really get a notion for group 2 to ever check out group 3, but I'm just saying, if it resonates, check it out as well. But I'm hearing watch this one first and then go back, if that resonates. Okay, then for this month, we've got 8 of Cups, walking away. It's a very similar energy to the group. Yeah, group 2, check it out. Very similar energy to the 6 of Swords. And when I very first learned tarot back in the 90s, I always confused these cards. I'm just like, why? They're just so similar. How do you tell them apart? They are similar yet vastly different in many ways, but we're gonna get into that. Let's just get the future conditions. So at the end of July going into August, September, maybe even as far out as October. Wow, we're already talking about October in these readings. Wow, Wheel of Fortune. Yes, things are shifting, things are changing. All right, what is the best path for group number 3 to follow for the month of July, please, Spirit? Ooh, 4 of Pentacles. I'm loving it. And wish fulfillment coming through for this month. Oh, okay. Yes, this makes so much sense. Okay, we're gonna get into it. Yes! And the outcome for group 3. That one didn't want to go back. Yes. Okay. I cannot wait to get into this. So let's get this all fixed, and we'll be right back. All right, group 3, I hope you still have your seatbelt on because I'm getting major crown chills again. Woo! Okay, past energy from June, May, maybe even as far out as April. 3 of Swords, something devastating, something heartbreaking, something that you put a lot of time, effort, love, attention, maybe even money towards, did not work out for you. And this, I'm hearing, is by divine design. There was a divine intervention to help protect you from someone or something that was not for your highest good. Even if it looked like the epitome of your highest good, it would have taken a turn that you did not want to go down. And it actually, Spirit, this was your own higher self stepping into, if this is something that you quote unquote made a mistake with, or you're like, man, if I had just known this, this, and this, I could have made this better. Your higher self kept this, this, and this from you so you wouldn't put all in on this thing. Even those of you who felt you did put all in on it, your higher self wasn't fully invested in this. And that's why your higher self pulled the plug on whatever this was. Those of you that are like, I wonder what this is talking about, nothing really resonates that I lost. This just could be you pulling the plug on bad habits, or just wanting to step into a more authentic version of yourself. Really, we did tune into that energy in group number 1. But this to me feels like you may still be dealing with the residual grief of the loss of a job, a relationship, maybe someone who passed away that meant a lot to you, or I'm actually even seeing someone breaking a crystal, or breaking something. It could even have been a car wreck, something that something of the material world, a car, a broken window in a house. I don't know. Lots of different things are coming. A broken crystal keeps showing, like a shattered fluorite crystal. Energetically speaking, this thing had to break or crash or leave your life for a reason. And there was a lot of, on the impact of this thing breaking, whether energetically, literally, metaphorically, whatever it is, the energy of this thing breaking has cleared some karma for you. So let's just pause for 2 seconds and maybe you really think about what that means for you. Because moving forward, you're gonna feel, wow, I'm actually glad that thing didn't work out, or that relationship, or that, I mean, it's like, I'm really glad that crystal broke. No one wants to say that, but it's very funny. We're talking about broken crystal. I actually showed this, oh man, was this in group 2? Those of you drawn to group 2, you'll see it again in group 2. But within 5 minutes of me owning this, I opened it at 5 o'clock on the dot, p.m., and at 5:55, the angel chime literally jumped, this is a Moldavite, those of you wondering what's going on here. This angel chime, Moldavite, jumped from my hands and hit the table very delicately, but it broke in half. And I was devastated because the angel chime ones are very special. Angel chime means that you put them on the table and they kind of clink, clink, clink. They make a bell sound or a tinkling sound. It's beautiful, but I mean, it's still powerful. But I was absolutely devastated that this thing broke. But what I heard in my intuition and awareness within minutes of this breaking was, aren't you glad that broke? And I'm like, no, I'm devastated. I would never spend that kind of money to buy an angel chime. And someone so amazingly gifted me this, a friend that comes over to my live stream, she gifted me this. And within 5 minutes of owning it, I destroyed it. Something that's been formed for 5+ million years, and I destroyed it within 5 minutes of owning it. No, but because Spirit's like, be glad that broke. It broke some karma. And I was just like, whoa, my mind is blown. So those of you that are losing a car, seeing like car wreck energy, or you broke a crystal or chipped a crystal, or whatever it is you lost or broke or was stolen from you, quite possibly something stolen, this is clearing karma. So keep that in mind. I know it doesn't make sense, like if you're reeling from the devastation. It took me 3 weeks plus. I cried about this. Like, let's just be real. I cried about the cracking in half of my little Moldavite gift here. Angel chime. It no longer angel chimes. It's no longer angel chime. And let me just demonstrate. I do have an angel chime Lemurian quartz here. Let me just tap this on this crystal over here. See how it kind of chimes? It's kind of like a bell. I mean, it's hard to tell because... There we go. There we go. You can really hear that. Now I'll try the Moldavite. Nope. No chime. No chime. You can tell the difference, I hope. If you can't, take my word for it. But yeah, but what I heard when that broke was that angel chime now always will reside within me. So, take that as it resonates. If you're just like, what is this woman talking about? You can disregard. But I think if you know, you know. And if this doesn't resonate at all already, this may just not be your pile. I don't know. This to me feels a very specific pile. You guys have been through some ish because you are healing from it. You're reconciling either with someone or the fact that this will never work out, whatever way you're going here, and mending from the past. You're sewing up your own broken heart is really what I see here. So now that I've taken 10 minutes just to get into the past energy you're coming in with, oh man, you guys need a little extra something, just like group 2 did, but we're here for it. If we're gonna be here as long as this reading takes. Group 1, we were done in 20 minutes, if not maybe closer to 18. We're already at 10 minutes on the clock for you guys, so yeah, let's keep going. This is you walking away from the things that are no longer serving. And I think we really did already tune into this energy with a lot of what we talked about, is moving on even from the sadness, but allowing yourself to process the feelings on your journey of life. Just because you moved on from someone or something doesn't mean you can move on instantly from the feelings or the fallout of emotions that comes from leaving said thing, or removing your energy from something. You're dealing with these emotions on your journey or along the way. They don't just go away. So this is you on a journey, either literal, figurative, metaphorical, whatever that looks like for you. You're on a journey, a quest to really find yourself and your self-love and your appreciation for who you are as a person. This is such a theme this month. You guys just tuning into your authentic selves. It's so powerful. So for the end of the month, kind of going into August, September, maybe even as far out as October, we have that Wheel of Fortune. So again, breaking of whatever this was, that past karma is actually bringing now something much better, much more supportive for the version of you that you are going to be in the future. This is coming in for you. Could even look like some sort of windfall of money or resources, or just deeper connections with people in your life, and getting rid of, some really shallow connections or more acquaintance energy or kind of frenemy energy is going to make room for someone who's more on your cognitive level, your consciousness level, your spiritual level, if that makes sense. So for your best path to follow, this is Four of Pentacles. And if you're watching this in June or even July, because that's the month it's going to be covering, of 2022, I don't watch a lot of news, but I feel things, I sense things, I see things when I'm out shopping and doing my life. The prices of everything are really going up, and maybe some of you are really feeling a financial pinch this month and just like, oh, I don't know, should I buy that thing I've been having my eye on? I don't know, maybe I should save the money for the really high gas prices or something else. This is about you being very, very discerning with what you're spending your money on. Is this thing I'm spending money on absolutely necessary? And I'm not saying either that you completely spend only on the things that are necessary and never treat yourself. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is just you really tuning in and checking in with your heart. Is this something I actually need? Is this thing I want actually going to enhance my life in any way? And if the answer is no, again, using your intuition and your heart, don't purchase it. Especially those bigger purchases right now with these higher than average interest rates on homes and possibly cars and personal loans, credit card debt racking up. This is not the time. Just personally, I'm not a financial guru, but like intuitively and just what I know is coming just from what my guides have shown me. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but what I've seen, it's best right now, all of you, group 3 that are watching. Oh, major chills are coming in on the crown too. Spirit will have your back and help you make better financial decisions. Those of you who've already been really smart, don't have any debt, you know what to do. Just keep doing what you do. Just keep doing it, because this can be a very, this is such a dualistic card, the Four of Pentacles, because it could be that you're spending too much, and it could be that you're holding too tightly onto your money, and it can also be right down the middle, like you're making amazing financial decisions. It's such a all over the board card. But for most of you, I'd say 80 to 85% of you, this is about trying to spend less or to be more frugal or smarter with the way you're spending money. Instead of eating out twice a week, maybe just do it once. Or instead of going through the coffee line every morning on your way to work, maybe just do it a few times a week. I mean, because this is not about depriving ourselves of the things that bring us joy, because half of being human is enjoying ourselves. Maybe more than half, or maybe less than half for some of you. But I think a good portion of our life should be us enjoying ourselves, but not at the expense of our future happiness, okay? That's really what this card is saying. So use your best discernment and judgment where you fall on the spectrum of I've been spending too much or not spending enough, or I'm doing just a great job. Find where you're at on that spectrum and then go in the direction that is kind of more balanced into the middle, if that makes sense, wherever you're at on that. Again, using your own discernment for your own financial decisions and being responsible for your own finances, or the finances, with the family and everything. You know what to do. Use your intuition, trust it, it knows, it's gotten you this far in life, keep going. So for your wish coming true with the Five of Pentacles, all that being said, you will not be feeling this lack. You're coming out of this lack mentality, or feeling like, well, I don't make enough, or how am I going to make ends meet this month when I got these 3 bills and I don't even know how I'm going to pay that bill. And it's like, take a deep breath, because there is some unknown source of money coming in, or maybe the bill that you were expecting to just completely gouge your bank account is going to be like half of what you expected, or there's some sort of rebate that you get with something that you have to purchase that you just, I'm seeing like someone's hot water heater maybe went out, or some big around the home purchase, and you're just like, do I bite this and just buy it now, or do I wait? Like, I don't know what to do. You're going to know what to do, basically, and you're going to save money on whatever it is you're doing. You're not feeling left out in the cold, basically. On the contrary, you're feeling invited in and warm with what's going on in your finances and also in your connections with other people. I'm really reading this as just anything you experience with your 5 regular senses, and possibly your 6th sense if you want to include that as well. But then with this Ace of Wands as your outcome, this is new energy coming in, news of something really exciting and creative, and new manifestations you're journeying toward, right? Because you have left something behind that is now making room for a new opportunity, a new creative endeavor, a new connection, a new friendship, a new job. I mean, wow. This could be so many things, you guys. I just don't want to label it as one or the other or the other or the other. It could be 1 or 10 things. It could be 20 things. It could be 3 things. It could be many things. It could be one thing. Depending what you feel is coming for you, just know there are some really amazing new opportunities and inspiration for ways to improve your life coming in by the end of the month of July. Almost said June. So some of you might even see some of this stuff coming in June, and it's just going to continue coming in through the end of July. All right, Oracle card time. What else do we have coming in for group 3? Be courageous. Yes. Just know, it's like she's holding the Ace of Wands here, and this little orange flag here reminds me of like the Ace of Wands. It's on fire, like the fire energy of the wands. It's like lit up, it's on fire. And as you move forward, it's gonna wave in the wind and it's gonna gather intensity. But this is about not feeling like you have to have life all figured out before you take the first step. No, half the battle is just going through and making those mistakes, like we were talking about in group 2, to fumble your way through things, to really start to teach yourself how to go about things and how to overcome them. Because some of the greatest lessons we learn are from our own mistakes, like we talked about in group 2. So again, if you were feeling called to group 2, I would say check it out. There is a major wishing well of information over there for you to check out. All right, too many. Let's get them all back in the table. Oh my gosh. Wow, there's some chaotic energy going on. But we have here clear out the debris. And it's like my cards are like, you got too many oracle cards, get rid of some of them. But like, I can't do that. I can't do that, Spirit. They're telling me just to read these, and I'm going to let you interpret them yourself. Choose to heal, visualize a healthy body and mind, observe your conversations, change direction, see God in all things, and eat healthful foods. So we won't elaborate on those, but if any of those really resonate with you, feel free to claim those. But you are clearing out the debris. You're clearing out that old energy that, again, is no longer serving you. These old traumas, wounds, trapped emotions from the past that are holding you back. You're releasing them so you can have this new opportunity, this new beginning at life, which is so powerful, and you deserve it. I think I've said you deserve it in all 3 piles now. So this is a collective energy. As humanity at large, we are realizing we deserve more than we've given ourselves credit for or allowed ourselves to have and experience and do and be. We're allowed to grow. I just heard we are allowed to grow. And maybe you were trying to keep yourself in a small box. And I think this example goes back to group 1. maybe a lot of you in group 3 actually watched all 3 piles. I do have a few viewers that are like, every time you have a video, I watch all 3 piles or all 4 piles or how many there are. Because I know they're going to resonate, or at least a little bit of each message will resonate with me. And I do say thank you for that as well. Because the viewership, the watch time really does add up, and it really does help the channel. All right, what else? Let's close out. Let's end on a high note here, group 3. We've got here abundance and instinct. Okay. Whew. And what was I saying about trusting that intuition? That instinct is different than intuition, but it's like your body, listening to your body, clearing out the energetic debris and lack mentalities and, limiting beliefs. This can really help you tune into your instincts and your intuition even further. But trust your instincts, trust your intuition as well. And this is going to help create abundance, because you did have in your best path to follow and your wish fulfillment positions cards about abundance or lack thereof. So this is about claiming what is yours. Again, that thing that happened cleared a roadblock that was karmically in your way. You cleaning it out by facing whatever this was, healing from it, mending from it, maybe even reconciling the fact that the life you once mapped yourself out to have is no longer going to happen. But that doesn't mean you can't still have an amazing and joyful and happy life. It just might not look exactly like you once thought it would for some of you. And this is about finding the key to unlock all of this. We've got a lot going on. It's like this guy has lost his money down the drain in one instance, and this little girl here is like pulling it out with a string. It's like one man's trash is another man's treasure, but like in a different way. Like, how do I even, Spirit, help me put this forward with what you're showing me? How do I even put this into words? It's like one person's loss is another person's gain. One person's, oh, I'll never do that, is another person's absolute wish and dream in life. One person's overspending is another person's, like, I'm saving for my dream house kind of vibe. This is just, I think this message goes much deeper than what I'm able to discern. I want to get another card to see what this is telling me. Because Spirit's like showing me all these things, but I'm like, how do I even, how do I put that into words? It's like a montage of things just laid over. Okay, Spirit, help me out with a card. Help me put this into words. Here it is. Choose to heal. Okay, yes. So they're showing me many things. Okay, this makes sense now. It's like we can stay stuck in that moment where we did lose that thing, maybe even in a past life, because here's a balding man, and then now we got a young child, a girl. So maybe in a past life, something you lost is now coming back for you to gain. But the road to get there is you to choose to heal. They were showing me so much color. They were showing me water. They were showing me a lot of this stuff. That's so cool that this comes out. But I didn't know how to put it into words. So thank you for the card, Spirit, it helps. But we're going to read Choose to Heal. Your guys' message has been a lot longer than everyone else's, but hey, maybe you're special today. So we have today's lesson. This is a day to reflect on troubling emotions, losing that coin down the drain or down the sewer or whatever this is. So reflect on troubling emotions and transform them in a positive way, reaping that abundance that you lost at a previous time. You're going to be able to do that. For some of you, this has to do with money you lost to some sort of scam, or money you lost, you spent it very frivolously and you're still kicking yourself. Like, why did I allow that to happen? Why did I spend all that money on that stupid thing? Or why did I overspend on my credit cards? You know, again, going back to this Four of Pentacles energy. Instead of continuing to beat yourself up for that thing you once did, let's maybe pause the video right now and forgive yourself for it and move on as much as you can. Maybe even doing a cord cutting meditation where you're removing yourself from that version of yourself that did that, or, you know, the loss that it created. Allow yourself first to feel it. Any emotions that come up, feel those disgusting emotions about it, and then release it. That's going to really help you get back into this abundance mindset. But let's start over, because I keep interrupting the card. This is a day to reflect on troubling emotions and transform them in a positive way. Identify one unresolved area of anger or hurt and ask yourself why you're still not at peace. Focus on how much power you lose to negative feelings. Your goal to realize you choose to stay angry and when you choose to heal. Wow. Yes, that's exactly what we're getting at here. And because your card to top us off was a 6 of paper with gluing. And I'm really seeing, I think it's in Japanese culture. Could be Chinese, but I'm really thinking Japanese. Spirit's saying Japanese. Where you break a vase or a plate or something like that, and instead of throwing it away because, well, it's broken, you put it back together, but instead of just using glue, it's like they mend it or put it back together with gold. And of course, now it's worth more because you've used gold to sew the seams back together or to glue this plate or this vase back together. That's what you're doing with that grace, that mercy you're giving yourself, forgiveness you're giving yourself from those past mistakes, clearing out those old limiting beliefs of, how could I be so stupid? And instead saying, wow, I really do. My heart goes out to that version of me that thought that was my only way out of that thing, or that was what I needed to do in the moment to make myself happy, and it didn't work, but it's okay. I forgive myself. To be able to reconcile that piece of you and reintegrate it into something that's actually going to help you move forward. It's acting as that gold that is putting you back together again. Wow, this is so powerful. Oh, wow, group 3, you did not disappoint with this reading. I talked so long, the camera died, so you won't see my wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man hands, so sorry about that. Thank you so much, and I mean so much, for sharing your lovely energy with me. Oh, there's just something special about you, group 3. You always know that on my channel, I think, but I mean, each and every one of you are super special to me, and I love and appreciate each and every one of you who take the time to share your stories, to leave comments, to like the video, to share it with your friends and family, to subscribe to the channel, because every little bit does help me. with the energy exchange of what I'm bringing forward from Spirit for you. Thank you so much. I just love you guys. Feel free to let me know below what you thought, if this reading resonated, and of course, any stories you want to share. And as always, thanks again so much, and I hope to see you back here at the Dunn Creative. All right, bye.